Welcome back, everybody, to the Maritime CEO Tech Leader Series powered by Ocean Technologies Group, a series sponsored by our friends Duolog, where we assess how shipping is set for technological transformation. Today's episode, I thought, was going to take us to Amsterdam, but in fact, it takes us to Copenhagen, where we look at the digital future of liner shipping with Thomas Barg, the CEO of the Digital Container Shipping Association. That's a group founded last year featuring the 9 largest carriers in the world. Now, Thomas and his team have been super busy this year, as you will be able to see with these headlines hopefully flashing past you on the screen at the moment. But just for our viewers, give them a little heads up. What are the other big things that you are working on for later in the year?
Well, thanks, Sam. Wonderful to be here. Yeah, you're right. We are trying to keep busy. We have a big journey ahead of us. So I think some of our recent publications, you've seen our announcement on, the electronic bill of lading, which I'm sure we'll talk more about. Yesterday, we had our gateway, our IoT gateway announcements. So that's the first step towards having a, smart container enablement in the industry. And we'll have more of that on the IoT side this year. And then, hopefully we'll also see something from the bill of lading. That's certainly my goal.
This series is all about technological transformation. Give me your crystal ball in terms of your members' vision of what a fully digital liner company might look like, I don't know, say 10 years from now.
Yeah, so, that's a brilliant question. So first and foremost, I think we have to maintain quite a bit of agility in one thing is what we think now, but plans tend to change, right? Once you get smacked in the face, was that Mike Tyson that said something like that? Then you got to change your tactics, right? But so we know that it's a very volatile world. There's new technologies that are constantly coming up. But as we look at it, or as I look at it today, and we look at it when we talk to our members, we take a lot of learning from other industries, really. And what we've seen in the examples that I typically use is travel. Just personal life travel. In the beginning, also banking, personal banking, private banking has gotten so much easier. And that's actually also spilling over now to commercial banking. We started our association in Amsterdam a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago. I still haven't, I've been to the bank once. Everything is just, you don't need to. Why wouldn't we have the same vision for container shipping? Why do you need a physical? I know that there's legislative reasons, but principally, why is it that we insist on having paper copies of the bill of lading, the letter of credit, if there's dangerous goods involved, packing lists, all that stuff, right? For me personally, I think the biggest gain is on the documentation side. There's a lot on the operational side, but there, our carrying members, they've done a lot over the years. I mean, the container vessels have gotten bigger and bigger and, more and more economical, and prices of shipping have generally come down. So I think they are, they're doing their little best on the operational side. But frankly, the customer experience of container liner shipping is still not great when you compare it to other industries. So I think, documentation, stop sending around all the pieces of paper, and let's have a digital experience in line with banking. I think that would be, we got to be there.
Okay, so here's a question that I'm asking everyone in this Tech Leader series. How much do you think the coronavirus has actually sped up shipping's adoption of all things digital? Now, by way of reference, the head of Class Society DNV GL Maritime said recently he reckoned this year's pandemic had turbocharged shipping down its digital path by around 5 years. In last week's issue, we were talking about training, and people felt that in terms of training, things had zoomed forward by 2 or 3 years at least in terms of how people go about training seafarers and, in fact, training anyone and everyone. Now, what's your take? How has the coronavirus sped up digital?
I mean, there's no doubt things have accelerated quite tremendously. And, just today I spoke to one of our members, and they said that, they'd seen 100% growth in the usage of electronic bill of ladings, pre-COVID and post-COVID, or not post, but to where we are now. And no doubt, this is an issue that is bound to accelerate. I mean, some of the challenges we face, though, is that, some of the clients that they mentioned, they said they want to do it with all carriers, but they're forced to work with multiple carriers for supply chain reasons and, safety of supply chain. And some of the other carriers, they didn't, offer the electronic bill of lading. So you actually already now have a pretty uneven playing field. But everybody wants to get there. There's no doubt about that. The time is right. We've kicked off the initiatives, and I think it's about seizing this opportunity that we have right here, right now.
Thank you very much indeed for your time, Thomas. I hope you get back to Amsterdam soon. We'll be back next week with another Duolog-sponsored look at how technology transforms shipping. In the meantime, everyone stay sane and sanitized. See you next week. Thanks.